return tomorrow if necessary to continue thrashing poor commoners.
Perhaps. Though I assume we will have other plans tomorrow. There is much to explore within the city. I have not been here before.
Cool. So, I think we flash over to Hannibal. Hannibal.
I am feeding the dude just as we're walking. I'm giving him ale every single time he runs out.
Yeah, I think eventually you run out of ale.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and draw on this map here. Draw shape. And let's make it... it'll be purple. So, this guy, his name is... what did I say? I think I gave him a name. We'll say his name is...
You said he was Thunder Clan.
Said he was what?
You just said he was part of the
Thunderer Clan? Okay, yeah. I think his name is Grugnar Thunderer, is going to be his name.
So what's up, Grug?
Right, sure. You call him Grug, and he's totally cool with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Thunderer Clan Hall. Cool. And 32? Nope. 40? Nope. 56. Yeah, that's the size I want. Cool. So, you guys finally make it over to the Thunderer Clan Hall. And that is right here, obviously. And you saw this building earlier, but you didn't know quite what was going on here. But it is specifically one of the only other like fully walled enclosures within inside the city, besides like the upper city that we see up here, and then obviously the rings to the Lord's Keep up here in the top. But this building here, it looks far more ancient than the rest of the city. However, it looks more strongly fortified than the rest of the city. It's a strange, interesting take, but it can only be described as this was built by the dwarves, and most everything else in the city was built by humans.
I go, fuck, Grung, you live in an old-ass place. It's awesome, though.
Yeah, and he's probably like, yes, the Thunderer Clan Hall of Known. It's renowned around the world.
Renowned! And I yelled at that, too.
Right, yeah. As the...
Hello?
Yeah, as the best place for engineering in the world.
Alright. Let's go blow shit up.
He does like a very emphasized like nod, but it's only one. It's like to anyone else it looks like his head might have fallen and hit his chest and he raised it back up.
Let's do this.
Basically. So you guys get up to the gate, and I think there's a dwarf there at the gate, and he's kind of like guarding it. He's actually in like this like heavy chainmail armor, and he's got like a hammer at his side and a shield. And as you approach, he looks at and he says, "Grug, you're drunk again."
He's not that drunk.
And the dwarf kind of looks at you just nonchalantly and then turns back to Grug. And he goes... And I think Grug looks at him and he goes, "Yes! Okay, we're coming in now." And he's just like... He goes to walk past him, and the guard like kind of like looks at him. He grabs him as he goes to walk past and he like looks in his face and he goes, "Don't hurt yourself." And
don't
like,
worry.
lets him go by.
I got his back.
The guy just looks at you and he goes, "What's your name, human?"
My name?
"Yes."
My name is Thormund.
Okay. And he goes, "All right. Thormund what?"
Dorman Aleman.
He nods and he goes, "That's clearly not true."
Sorry, I'm a little drunk.
Yes, I can tell.
My real name is Dorman Starstala.
So he again like raises an eyebrow and he goes,
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
he raises an eyebrow and he goes, actually, I'll roll for it just because I got to.
Should I roll deception?
No, it's going to be, nope, he doesn't recognize it. It was going to be to whether or not he recognized that name and its origins. So yeah, I think he goes, "Very well, Starstala. Welcome to the Thunderer Clan Hall. Don't touch anything."
Oh.
I think again he looks at you and he looks at Grug, who is like basically like sleeping against a wall right now, and he goes, "Go on. Make sure he gets in his cot."
Thank you, Patty.
Sure. So yeah, so you get Grug, and Grug is at this point basically useless.
I'm like, dude, we gotta get some of that powder.
Right, so I think that you can tell the only thing driving him right now is the fact that you have magic on him. Like
that is spectacular. That I'm glad I did that.
Right. That's essentially at this point he is too drunk to comprehend what he's doing, or even like his motor skills are gone. But the magical sway you have over him is driving him to complete the task that is set out before him as fast as possible. So yeah, so I think that he's like stopped like talking. He's just like mumbling at this point. He's basically like a zombie, essentially. And the keep is somewhat deserted. And as you're traveling kind of through the corridors, your footsteps echo off of the grand halls, which are, for some reason or another, dwarves make their stuff really tall, even though they're really short. Probably has something to do with, their height disability and like wanting to seem bigger than everybody else. So the ceilings of their keep are actually much taller than what humans typically build. So it's a nice like spacious area, but it does echo. Like you can feel your footsteps like kind of reverberating off the walls as you guys travel along. And you get to what is a storeroom, and you get to like a large double door. It's like iron wrought. And Hannibal, you can see that there's runes carved like all over the front of this thing.
Can I make an Arcana check to check what they mean?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. They're clearly dwarven in origin. A lot of them are just simply dwarvish script. A lot of it is like danger, no fire past this point, etc.
That specifically?
Yeah, it specifically says no fire past this point. Yeah.
Okay.
Now the ones down by the door handles, which are slightly lower than what you would imagine in this dwarven keep, or slightly slower than what is normal to you. There are runes that surround the handles of the doors that are magical in nature, and you can see that you can probably garner that there is a lot of force magic inside of those runes. It's very clearly like what you would imagine a magical trap to be.
Okay.
Right around the handle of the doors. And I think as you get there, Grug, like, he kind of like comes to for a moment, and he like looks around, and he's like, "Oh, when did we get here?"
Dude, we got here like a minute ago. Like we just walking.
He's like, "I must have dozed off."
Just don't worry about it.
Was Narky at the gate?
No, it was Pudgy.
He nods. Even though you're 100% certain he has no idea what you just said.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking with him, like 100%.
Right, yeah. And he looks at the handles, and he says, These are very special runes. Only a Thunderer clan can open these doors. Same goes for coming out.
You have no idea when you say that what that means to me, because I literally specifically thought they probably made it so only the Thunder Clan could get it.
Yeah.
That was actually a specification I did in the letter that I wrote. I'll send it to you later.
Yep. So yeah, so he says, he like looks at you and he goes, "We're going in now."
Let's do this.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
On our way.
Yes, we are.
Gonna do it.
Bitchin'.
And he goes to grab the handle and he misses, and he just face plants like right into the handle of the door. And you see the runes light up around in a perfect circle, like around the handles of the doors. And then you hear a click, and you hear the door unlock and then swing inward as it opens. And he just kind of like stumbles and falls to the ground and appears to be asleep. He appears to have succeeded in his suggestion, which was get you to said, or get said powder. Because as you walk in, if you walk in, and I assume maybe you like pick him up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you walk in, you see that in the room, it's a storeroom, and you actually walk through, the walls are actually about 3 times as thick as they normally would be. You're essentially walking into a bunker. As you enter, you see there are no light sources in this place at all. There's no moonlight or exterior light streaming in. There's no windows. It is completely pitch black. And as you enter, the doors begin to swing closed behind you, as if some unseen force is closing them.
I'm fine. I have a way to get out, and I let it close.
Sure, yeah. So, right, you have said dwarf that you could essentially just put his face again up against the runes and open it up. That's how it happens, man. So yeah, so you, it's hard to see shit, man. But
not
luckily,
for me.
you have dark vision.
Yes, I do.
So everything's washed in kind of this grayish, strange, like glow, and there's clearly not a whole lot of like, because even though it's like gray tone, when you see in dark vision, like it's almost like underwater, where certain colors do pop out occasionally, like reds are the first to go, and then blues are the last to go, right? So yeah, it's a little bit weird, but in here there's clearly not a whole lot of color. But you see, like lining the walls, you see these racks, and it actually goes. It's essentially it's covered in the whole thing. These racks of kegs of varying sizes that just line the walls and all throughout the middle as well.
Okay. I proceed to open a couple of
the
them.
building itself. I should describe the building itself. It's probably about 100 feet. It's a round dome-like building. It's probably like 100 feet in diameter. So it's like 50 feet to the center from where you are. That's not true. 100 feet in radius. So it's probably 200 feet in diameter. It's about 100 feet to the middle of the room that you're in right now.
Okay. All right. I proceed to go open a couple of the kegs.
Okay. So you walk up to like the closest rack and you look at the kegs, and there's on this rack the kegs are like of medium size, maybe like 3.5 gallon size kegs, and they all have they're all like completely sealed, and you can see that there is there's like a cork stopper in the top of each of them. And they're lying on their side, right? So you can see like the cork stopper in each of them. And the cork stopper has a rune very similar to what is on the doors. So ostensibly, you know how to get into that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take the guy and you slap his hand on it, and you see the rune light up. And then you pull the cork out. And as you pull the cork out, streaming out of the barrel is this powder. It's kind of like sand. It's black powder, so I'll just describe it like that. You know what black powder looks like.
Yeah.
So the granules are kind of coarse, and they're just streaming out of the barrel, like falling out onto the ground now that you've pulled the cork out.
All right, I used the door to quickly plug his hand up.
Right, yeah. So you put the plug back in, and now there's a little bit of black powder like on the ground.
And then I think to myself, shit, I'm gonna have to clean that up. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. So what do you do?
Sorry. I look around. Is there a sack anywhere? Like a good sack?
A sack. I don't know if there would be a sack in here. Roll me, God, this is why I wish this place had luck saves. Just roll me a flat d20. On a 10 plus, there's a sack. Yeah, no problem. You can find a sack.
How big?
It's an average size. It's like a grain sack. Like a bag of cement size. If we were talking about real world stuff.
All right. And so I fill one of those things up with it.
Yeah, with the stuff on the ground, you like sweep it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And it's got a little bit of room left in it as well.
Yeah. And so, am I able to hide that in my backpack?
Yeah, you probably could if you filled it up. Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. So I put him in there, and then I make sure, try to erase any evidence that we've been in there.
Sure.
And then I leave, and then I get out of there. I have my mission completed. I have a fuck ton of black powder.
What do you do with Grug?
I take care of him, and then I look for a room for him.
Sure.
He's served his purpose, and he's helped me a lot.
Yeah. So you like have his arm like over and you're like, or you probably actually have to carry him because you can't really do that. Can't really do the fireman thing. With a dwarf. Yeah. So like maybe you wander the halls for a bit, and eventually you meet like a servant, perhaps. And you express like, hey, I need to find his room, and they're like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, it's over here. And they bring you to his room, and you get him strapped, you get him on the cot, and tuck him in, and then what do you do?
Trying to think. Can I cast suggestion on someone that's sleeping?
I don't see why not.
Alright.
Let me read suggestion real quick. Let's see what the spell book says. Suggestion. Let's see here. Suggestion says you suggest a course of activity, magical influence a creature you can see within range that can hear and understand you. I would argue that asleep he could not understand what you are saying.
Yeah, okay.
He could hear you, but he would not be able to understand what you are saying. In fact, even if you woke him up at this point, it still probably wouldn't work, because he still might not actually be able to understand what you are saying. Previously, when you casted it, he wasn't that drunk yet, but now he's just gone. He's wasted.
He was pretty drunk when I cast it on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't incoherent yet.
Right. He wasn't passed out. He wasn't blackout.
Hannibal is really thinking, should I eliminate him?
Okay. So do you want me to jump back to the party while you consider that?
No, it's just Hannibal walks away because he shouldn't eliminate someone just for something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, Hannibal's leaving.
Yeah. I think that Puck says something to you, though. I think that Puck, as you leave, says to you, not in her normal, high-pitched voice. I think it's something a little bit deeper. And she goes, "This is a risk."
This is the thing that a dwarf The biggest secret keepers I know said should be shared with the people. It's a risk worth taking.
Our plan is not complete yet.
I know it's not, but this will definitely help your cause too.
I am unsure.
Imagine this. A follower of yours came out with an invention that's helped millions of people. Wouldn't that do a great thing for your name?
I think that you get the response of silence, and then you hear, like, is it time to go now?
Ah, fuck, it's you again. Alright, yeah, let's go.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys leave, depart. As you go out, it's a different dwarf at the gate, and he kind of looks at you and he says, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just escorting Gungar back into his...
Yeah, he goes, Garagnir, yes. You can depart.
Thank you.
Sure. And you leave. So we jump back to the party. At this point, it is probably starting to wind down. There's people that are essentially just done. The crowd is starting to, like, file out. And it's basically last call. So, for those of you back at the party, what are you doing?
I think... Okay, go, Brian.
What time is it?
Probably like 2 in the morning.
I think at this point, Chester's gonna go up to Vi and suggest that they start winding everything down. Try and end it off.
Yeah, I don't think you can find her.
Huh.
Because I think that when the realization was, hey, I'm not needed anymore because, you know, the air has changed, Vi went to go do some Vi things.
I think I'm just going to leave.
Okay. Just leave. Just gone.
Yeah.
There's probably a moment where, like, everybody is like, huh, I wonder where Chester and Vi went. And you guys are just in the wind, because that's what you do. Cool.
So, meanwhile, Farron is left here with all of the betting money that they've made.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, and you also have to. So, here's the weird part. Let's figure out what you guys actually got out of this. So, the plan, as it were, was pretty successful. I think that as far as net gain, there's probably about 250 gold in there for you guys. But, Farron, you gotta pay some people before that actually gets turned over. So I think there's probably about 50 of that that's not there. You're the only one that knows that. So I think that Farron, you have control over basically all of the funds for this. So you have 200 gold net gain after all the betting is said and done that you can disperse as you see fit.
Okay.
Also, I should say you probably made about 10 gold in like tips specifically for you for your performance.
Okay. So my original agreement with them was just a meager 5% because I'm just
Right.
a heartwarming, charitable guy.
Right.
But all this time, Farron has been doctoring the books.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh yes, 5 gold. Yes, I'll put that down as 4 gold instead. Kind of thing. So, I think I'm probably going to end up taking another 10%, so I get 15% of 200 just to avoid.
So you're going to take 30 gold for yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. So that means that 170 is to disperse basically to Vi and Chester, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody else is really
So,
like involved.
I don't really want to get stabbed in the night by Vi. So.
Yeah, right. We'll make that happen for other reasons besides swindling her out of gold.
Of course.
But yeah, you're skilled enough to do that, like well enough that it'd be really hard for them to figure it out. Like Arkady would be one that could probably figure it out if he knew the whole scenario and what was going on. That's kind of like what he does, right? Like doctors papers and looks at doctored papers and et cetera, et cetera. Vi and Chester are a little bit more hands-on, so they're definitely not going to be able to notice, but they're still going to get like a huge profit, a lot more money than they started with, so they probably won't care, right? And I should say, how much do you pay Morella, or did Morella work that out with Chester and Vi, or does Morella get any money, or was Morella just there for fun?
Well, Morella never set up a thing with Chester or Vi, so I think they asked her to just help her, and she said sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Whether money was involved or not is not of her concern.
All right, so Arkady, the seemingly dangerous situation that you encountered when you first arrived is essentially nothing more than just a money-making opportunity.
Right, I'm sure there's nothing else to it.
Right, yeah. Nothing that occurred throughout the entire process had anything to do with what may happen in the future. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, right.
Long-term consequences of everything we do? Nah.
That's
not what this game is about.
That's not how I run things. It's fine. If it didn't happen in the session, it just didn't happen. That's how it works. Yeah. So I think that everybody, should you wish, gets back to the galleon and the Null, all safe and sound, with your rooms all set up. And I think we can progress to the next day. But do you guys want to take a little bit of a break real quick?
Sure.
We've been going for a little bit. It's actually... Yeah, I've been going... so maybe we take like a 10-minute break. Be back at 7:57 Eastern Standard Time. For Will, I think that's -5 on you. Or +5. Yep. +5, sorry.
Jeez.
Cool. Yeah. So let's take a quick little break, and then we'll go ahead and jump back into it.
Cool.
All right.